Hi everyone, my name is Tanmay Singh and I'm the co-founder of Faith Career, a career management consulting firm. Today, we would be talking to one of our students who recently graduated from ISB's flagship program. Hi Yogita, thank you for joining us. We are delighted to have you here. I'm excited to hear all the insights that you would share, which I'm pretty sure would be useful to the viewers of this video.
Thank you so much, Tanmay, for having me. I'm also just looking forward to share my ISB experience and reliving those memories again.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Awesome. Yogita, first of all, congratulations from graduating from ISB. It's a huge brand name, and I'm really excited to see everything that the future has in store for you. Your hard work, efforts, and perseverance deserve accolades. Uh, can you please tell us how was your overall ISB experience?
Sure. Thanks, Tanmay, for all your wishes. So for me personally, I believe it was a roller coaster ride. Like starting from term one itself to term eight, everything was like up and down, up and down. It was never like a straight path. It was roller coaster of emotions, be it like parties, be it any exam or placement. Every time you feel a lot of things when you go in ISB. Uh, if I talk about the experience, so I'll actually talk about three things. First would be academics. So in academics, I believe ISB provides you a lot of great professors whom you can leverage. So I had great classes like the professors who were coming up, they were all from really great universities. So I remember there was this class from ex Nestle CEO. He was actually teaching us the perspectives of the CEOs, how to actually be in a CEO shoes and look at different business problems. That was one of the best classes I had at ISB. Then I personally don't come from a finance background. I come from a physics background, and finance was really new for me. And I think by the end of ISB, I actually fell in love with finance. I took this one very difficult course at ISB, which was transactional modeling by Ashish Kohli, and it was absolutely like I was in absolute love with the subject by the end of my journey. Secondly, I think the kind of people you meet at ISB, that was really amazing. I had great parties, I had great memories. Like you were just chilling till 4 a.m. in the morning after your hectic exams, and there were so amazing festivals like Garba night was there, which I never experienced before ISB. Then Christmas and everything. So you experience a holistic. It was a holistic experience for me.
Hmm.
And lastly, I think the campus life was really amazing. There were beautiful peacocks in my SC. I was staying in SC one. Then amazing courts, like fully supported by housekeeping. The entire experience, was really lovely. And one stressful period, I think, obviously will be for every upcoming student will be placement. That was for me as well. But at the end of the day, you will cherish the entire journey. You will cherish the memories you made with the friends. You will cherish your learnings and the stressful placement period as well.
Awesome, awesome. Great. Now, Yogita, so all of this sounds great. Now, I also know that you were a Teach for India fellow, right? What
Yeah.
exactly motivated you to pursue an MBA program?
Sure. I think MBA was at back of my mind since my undergrad days itself. Like it was there in my head that I want to get MBA, be it like 2 to 3 years down the line. So personally, I wanted to gain some experience. As I mentioned, I was coming from a physics background. So I joined a startup and I worked for a year for that, and then I joined Teach for India. But still, I was contemplated like should I go for IIMs? Should I go for ISB? Should I go outside India? So these were the thoughts I had. I think it was during my Teach for India project. So in TFI, we are given a BTCP project, which is Be the Change project. When I was working on that, I felt I was not really able to scale the entire project. Like I was having gaps in my knowledge, be it project management, be it budgeting. Like these skills were, I was feeling like there is something missing. Like I really need some formal education to gain a holistic exposure to the world of business, be it marketing, be it strategy. So, like hands-on learning was there, but no formal education was there. So that's when I actually realized that okay, let's take a step and apply for ISB. And during that time, I was already preparing for my GMAT. And yeah, in 2021, post like during my second year of fellowship, I applied to ISB.
Mhm.
And like if I think of now, it was absolutely a right decision
Right,
because ISB's curriculum focuses a lot on making you a leader. And
right,
TFI was also based on that, like TFI fellowship entirely based on the fact that you are leading students, you are a leader, and you have to go in the environment to actually uh, think as a future leader. So
right.
this really aligned with ISB values as well.
Right, right. Makes sense, Yogita. And interestingly, because if I'm able to reflect on my own experiences as a study abroad coach, one of the things that I tell all of my students is to do exactly what you told me to, right? Here, what you shared with me, because if you're able to identify those gaps or those lacunae in your skill set, in your functional skill set, and if you can convince the admissions committee that, hey, these are the things that I'm lacking, and this is exactly why I wish to pursue the MIM or the MFin or the MBA program, that's great because you're able to show them a fit, and that fit is very,
That's
very
true.
important, right? Okay, or hold on. So, Yogita, you're relatively young and you have comparatively lesser amount of work experience. So from that, I would like to ask, what is it that motivated you to choose ISB instead of IIMs?
Sure. I think this was a major conflict, I would say, that I was also personally facing when I was deciding on like IIMs, ISB, or colleges abroad. I think I did a lot of research and I spoke to a lot of alums, be it IIMs and ISB. So for me personally, I felt that three things shined out for ISB. So one was the diverse cohort. So in IIMs, usually people come with a lesser work experience, but in ISB, people are here from different backgrounds and with different experiences. Like a lot of people I knew were having like 8 to 10 years of experience as well, and 2 years of experience as well. So and from diverse places, like someone was working with Bharat Petroleum earlier, someone was a veteran in military, someone was actually working in IB. So the diverse background I think that ISB offered was really shining out from IM personally for me. And then second was the international curriculum, as I mentioned initially. Also, all the professors from very very great universities abroad. Like one of the professors, Subodha Kumar, he was from University of he was from Texas University,
Mhm.
and even other professors were working at Wharton and Kellogg and other great places in abroad.
Broad,
So, like, I just felt like IIMs might not have that international curriculum. And finally, which is still, I believe, is a very, very great advantage of ISB over IIMs is the alumni network. So the alumni network is very, very collaborative. You just reach out to any alum and they will go above and beyond to help you out. There is just so great sense of community in ISB people that oh yeah, this person is from ISB.
Mhm.
So I think for me, I just wanted to be in that kind of a space where people are actually collaborating in a way that they are supporting each other so well. So yeah, these three major things were my reason to choose ISB over IIMs.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, viewer. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate if you can please like this video, comment on it if you have any questions. Either Yogita or I can answer it, or Anshul can take it later. And please subscribe to our channel. It will mean a lot to us. Yogita, how is ISB as a school for aspiring product managers?
Great question, Tanmay. So, for me, I believe, and I think for every aspiring product manager, this would be the case. Sometimes when you're working, you are only looking at one kind of angle for a problem. Like, say, if you're working in a field of finance, you'll probably think of the finance aspect of it, and you might not think about the other aspects, be it operations, be it strategy or marketing. So ISB kind of provides you holistic business knowledge. So it is actually a great place to learn different aspects. So I wanted to understand about strategy, marketing, and how they are actually integrated. And for me, I never studied that before. And here I was studying like everything and gaining a lot of knowledge, and not just like learning. I was able to apply that through my ELP. So ELP is the experiential learning program at ISB. So I was working with one of the firms in Punjab. So I was working on the go to market strategy. I was able to apply all the skills there, and I remembered one or two courses also that were focused specifically on product management. One was strategies for digital economy. It was from amazing professor Abhishek Kathuria. I really admire him. And that was the first time I understood about the platforms and how they actually interact with each other, like network effects and everything. Probably if you're working as a PM, you might already know it, but for me, it was a new learning. And there was this one more course on software product management. It was from, again, two amazing professors. I really enjoyed that course as well. And then there are peers whom you can learn from. So even I was expert on edtech. There was this one event in the college where you will find some experts sitting on sharing their previous knowledge. So you get to know about the fintech space. There was a person who was working as a PM in the fintech space. Then there was a person who was working as a PM in the e-commerce space. So you will get to learn a lot from other people as well. So overall, I believe if you are aspiring for any career, not just PM, it's an amazing place to be.
Sounds good. Okay, that's great to know because I'm pretty sure that the viewers who are watching it somehow have a notion in their head that ISB is a consulting mecca, which there is no denial it is, right?
It
Because
is.
if I'm not wrong, approximately 40 to 45% of the students go for consulting after they finish their ISB MBA, right? But it's also great to know that there are experts out there who can help each other through peer learning, so that can happen. And at the same time, it's also a school where you know aspiring product managers, for example, right, can brush up their skills and can gain useful and new knowledge, which then they can apply when they start working. Great to know,
Definitely.
Yogita. What tips or advice would you like to share with ISB aspirants who are currently working on their application?
Sure. I think one major advice would be to start early. I think a lot of people whom I know, they started late, and then the quality of essays was not that good. So I started before 2 months. During my time, the deadline was in September, and I started 2 months before the deadline, and I really worked hard on the essays, because you need to do a lot of reflection in sense that you have to write down your entire journey, and then you have to relate it how ISB would fit in. and then what you will do post ISB as well.
Right.
So it requires a lot of thought while writing your essays. So start early would be one advice. Then second would be to think from a perspective that do you want your essays to be reviewed from ILMs or a professional consultant. For me, one essay, like the goals essay, I wanted some professional to proofread, and other one I just felt that okay, ILMs might go through it and give me the feedback. So you should decide on that as well early, because if you are just reaching out to ILMs, they might be busy as well, and you don't want to degrade the quality of your essays. So, just two major things. First one would be starting early, and second, getting it vetted, not just submitting it directly.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. I think your first point makes a lot of sense, even for those who are aspiring to study abroad, because the sooner you start, the stronger application you would be able to put together.
True.
And therefore, the more you would have chances of receiving not just an offer letter, but also scholarship. Right. So great
That's
points
true.
out there, Yogita. Let me actually now,
Uh,
do you want to say
Tanmay,
something?
I would like to add one more thing. So I got a scholarship as well from ISB. Yeah.
Excellent.
Uh, yeah. So again, I think there was a scholarship essay, and it really helped that I started on early, and I was able to put forward a good scholarship essay as well.
Yeah, see, this is one more unbeatable advantage of starting early, right? That if you start
Yeah.
early enough, you give a lot of, like, you give adequate amount of time to the various processes and steps, you might as well get a scholarship. Great. Awesome, Yogita. I was personally not aware of it, but I'm very happy to know it. Okay. Now, Yogita, what advice would you want to give to ISB aspirants preparing for the interviews, especially those aiming to get product management roles?
Sure. I think for interviews also, that one thing would be common, that starting early is important. So I think this might not be case with other people. For me personally, I was a little overconfident that I'll get the ISV interview, and I just started the interview preparation just after submitting the application itself. So it depends, I think, on a person to person. If they believe that their essays will get selected, or like their application will get selected, just start preparing right away. I started preparing right away, and I focus on different kind of questions, like what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are the challenges, and I think ISB committee focus a lot on your quality work experience.
Right.
So I was grilled a lot on my project that I did at Teach for India. So I was asked a lot of questions. How did I did it? What were the challenges that I faced? And how I want to take it further. Like what were my learnings from them. So if you when you're preparing for interviews, just focus on the quality of the work experience plus your personal strengths and weaknesses. That would be my advice. And for those who are preparing for product management roles, I think once you're like getting into the rigor of ISB, there are a lot of things to achieve there. But I believe for the interview, especially, just mention why you want to be a product manager, what actually motivated you to be a product manager, and like what are your long term goals, like say 2 to 3 years down the line, where you want to be, where do you see yourself like 2 to 3 years down the line. So that focus also should be there.
Right, right. Yogita, you raised a very important point when it comes to, thinking about what is it that you would actually like to do right after you finish your MBA program, whether it is from ISB or any school in India or abroad, right? It's very important because it also gives you the clarity that, hey, you know what, this is what I want to do. Therefore, when I'm at my target B school, right, these are the activities that I can participate in, right? Or these are the things
Exactly.
that I can do to bolster my profile for the for the placements in case of Indian schools and career fairs in case of schools abroad, right? And This clarity also would help you to present yourself well in front of the admissions committee members for your during your B-school interviews, and later when it comes to placements or career fairs, this clarity would also help you to be your best self in front of the recruiter or the hiring manager,
So,
right? So great points out there, Yogita. Thank you for them. Um, so, how was your experience during the ISB interview? So this was about the application process. I'm going back to it again. Like, how was your experience during the
yeah.
ISB interview? What kind of questions were asked to you, and what do you think the panel was trying to judge or gauge?
Sure. I think overall, the ISB interviewing process was really enriching, but at the same time, very challenging and stressful. Because like placement happens during 1 month. Like it's very stressful period, to be honest. But it's a lot of there are a lot of learnings as well. So I gave like a lot of interviews during my placement season, and what I was personally asked about the specific PM questions. Like there are some specific product management questions, which includes product design, guesstimates, go-to-market strategy questions. Then I was also asked about my work experience, like what all did my in my previous product experience. Like, do I even have a product experience? And if I have, then how did I build the products? So that was, I think, to know like how I will perform in my job.
Hmm.
So and then there were behavioral questions as well, like uh, how would you deal with the challenges at workplace? How would you deal with no's at the workplace? Like if your engineering manager is not agreeing with you. So there were like lot of specific product management questions that were asked. And if I think about like what they were trying to judge, they were just trying to judge two aspects. One, if I'll perform well in my PM job, and
Hmm.
the second, if I am a cultural fit in the organization.
Right,
So these were the two takeaways. And like going forward, also, I think these are the things that organization will be looking at.
right, right. No, you are absolutely correct in saying that a fit is always desired and
So
tested, gauged or judged. Because if you're not a good fit with the organization, and that organization could either be a company or a business school to begin with, right? Then it becomes very
exactly.
difficult for both the parties to, navigate their way. For example, I have witnessed certain circumstances when some students had to come back from the US, um, while
Okay.
kind of like after discontinuing their master's degree, and that is because they were unable to handle the rigor of the master's program. And so, trying to understand that fit, whether it's a cultural fit or an academic fit, is extremely important because it allows you to know that, hey, you know what, this is a very highly ranked school, but at the same time, the curriculum would also be equally challenging, right? So
So
understanding that fit and then going about it is great. And I think when you mentioned about cultural fit, when it comes to organizations and companies, that's a huge thing, because if you don't like the culture, it is somehow going to backfire, and that is never a pleasant situation, right?
yeah.
uh,
Tanmay, I would actually like to add on to this point. Like you mentioned about the fit. So I think for anyone who is actually looking at these schools, just try to speak to a lot of alums. So I spoke to approximately 20-25 alums before joining ISB, and I just felt very aligned to it. I just felt that this is where I would see myself spending my year. Like this is the kind of MBA I want for myself. I was not able to relate to say other schools. So even if you are selecting your school, like if you are say selecting any other school, so I was also looking at Oxford also after 2 to 3 years down the line. But that at that point of time, ISB just made sense. I had that clarity that I personally want to get into ISB. So like during the selection process, it's very important to find your alignment. Like yeah, this is my strength. This is the place where my gaps can be
Right,
completed. That
right.
is also very important.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very important point because if you are, if I mean, if anyone in general is unable to figure out that, hey, this is how this particular school is fitting into my career goals and aspirations, and this is how it will help me going to go forward, right, and also excel at my career later. If that's not happening, I do not think that one should, pursue a school or an organization for that matter. Awesome. Yogita, thank you so much for your time and help. We wish you all the best for your future and dreams. And I'm hoping that the viewers of this video would have taken a lot of value from your responses. And, I hope that, if they have any questions, they can always get back to us and we'll be happy to help. Thank you so much once again and have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, Tanvir.